And welcome back to Grim Dawn. Okay, so I have decided that now is a good time to start the Forgotten Gods, I think it's called, expansion, which is the latest one currently. So in order to do that, I need to speak with the emissary here.
Ah, we speak at last. As I am sure you know, there are many who now cast their gaze upon you, traveler. Or should I say, taken. Some who mean you ill. Some who fear your potential. Then there are those who command me. You know them well, for their attendant's mark is upon you. They wish to collect upon this gift.
Collect? Meaning what?
I cannot speak of such things in this place. The cursed gaze of our foes is cast upon us here, so I will be brief. Great powers are gathering within the distant lands of the fallen Corvan people, and the Great Eye has decreed that you must play a part, whatever that may be. Will you answer our summons? Will you join me through the portal? Or do the mortal concerns of these people outweigh the calls of fate?
Okay, let's see. Who are these masters of yours?
You have not met them, but you've sought out their temple. Do not fear. You have mutual interests and the same enemies. If we work together, we can triumph where the individual cannot.
And where is this land of the Corvan people?
Far to the east, beyond mountains and rivers. Weeks of travel by foot. A mere instant through an eldritch gate. My masters have granted me the means to return there, but only if accompanied by you. I will not fail in this task.
Well, okay, sure. I will trust you. Right, and now we have the emissary's rift. Seems no cinematic. I don't remember if there is one or what triggers it, but let's see. So here we are at the Conclave of the Three. That's the rift gate of the place, and here is the emissary again.
So, you have come, as the Oracle of Dreeg had foreseen. But are you truly prepared for what's in store for you in this forsaken land?
What is this place?
You are in the Corvan Basin, a land ravaged by gods and man alike. A land whose secrets are now coveted by a determined few. As for this camp, this is the Conclave of the Three. Very much like the sanctum you've discovered in the marshes outside of Burwich. Here the three cults set aside their disagreements and join as one against our mutual foes. Foes which threaten your existence as well, I might add.
Well, what do you need me for then?
The three have decreed that I seek out worthy allies in our battle against a common foe. But are you indeed the one we seek? First, you must prove yourself.
And how do I do that?
Go to the center of the camp before the statues. Kanatha, mistress of the Sentinels, awaits you to begin the Eldritch rites. Conquer whatever horrors assault you from the Eldritch realm, and we shall have our answer.
Well, okay, but may I ask a question?
In time, all your questions will have answers of their own. But first, the rites.
Okay, so I can't ask anything. Well, in that case, let's accept your...
I'll give you a good price.
whatever this is. Trial, I guess. And here is our lore note. Worthy purpose. Let this sacrifice echo across the conclave that our brother Jaros was found worthy of bearing his life before Solal's blade. Few are granted the honor, and fewer still have the will to accept the burden for the benefit of us all. And so it was with our brother, who not only willingly stepped forward to feed Solal's hunger, he had Solal's sigils painted upon his bare chest as he paraded himself to the center of the conclave. Larger than life, he stood proudly before Sagon and his curved witchblade and proclaimed to all, that today marks the first day of their victory against the usurper. Jaros kneeled, as was customary, but his eyes never turned away from the Vicar's stoic gaze. As was set down upon us by Solile, Sagon uttered the sacred words and slid his forefinger to paint a rune upon Jaros's forehead. Then the Vicar stood behind the sacrifice and placed the sacred blade upon his throat. This was the Chosen's last chance to back down, though to be perfectly honest, such a disgrace would likely end in death anyway. Jaros looked ahead with confidence. His face was beaming with pride. Such was his faith. For Sola, he began to cry when Sagon slit his throat and plunged his other hand, drenched in black flames, into Jaros's chest. Sagon removed the dead man's heart in a swift motion and drank deep of the lifeblood spilling forth. Jaros's body slumped to the ground, his eyes still staring forward. Several attendants saw to his cremation as the Vicar delivered the heart to Solile's shrine. The heart was placed in an ornate bowl and incinerated, and as it burned, the runes upon the shrine grew brighter. Solile is pleased, Sagon uttered, smiling with bloody lips. Okay, so once again we are in a very pleasant place, with very pleasant people, who believe in very pleasant things and very pleasant gods. Alrighty. So there's a bunch of NPCs standing around here. And as is customary, not all of them have voiced lines. So this guy is Garrus, Keeper of Iron. Greetings, friend. I know when somebody's carrying coin and you've got your share. Care to make an exchange for some iron bars? So yeah, what would I want this for? I offer a humble service, no strings attached. Bring me iron bits and in exchange you will receive iron bars. Pass these on to your allies or perhaps your alter egos. If they bring them to me, then I will happily take them off their hands for their original value. Okay, so this is a way to transfer money between characters. Here is Harold, who says, "Leave me to my business." Well, what are you working on? Did you not hear me? Let me spell it out for you. Leave me alone. The less time I spend in this forsaken sand-covered armpit of the road, the better, and you serve no purpose but to slow me down. Now, leave me alone so I can get my work done and get out of here. Okay, well, I'm not going to leave you alone. You're really not listening, are you? You want to know what's wrong? They dragged me out to this forsaken furnace on a fool's errand. Chase some hopeless maniac through the desert. My clothes are soaked with sweat, that is, until all evaporates underneath this slit sun. My skin burns, there's sand in my everything, and there isn't so much as a drop of booze as far as the eye can see. To top it off, I lie awake, freezing to death, while all manner of ghastly beasts spend the night screaming and moaning at each other at the edge of camp. So you could say I'm a bit upset at my current situation. Now get lost and let me finish my work. Well, that sounds pretty terrible. We're officially done talking now. Okay, well that did take a while, but I guess we are. Watch yourself, old man. Alright, don't remember. I guess there's a quest associated with that guy. Maybe I shouldn't be reading every single thing here currently, since I am going to lose my voice if I do that. Here's another lore note though. It's a pretty long one, but I guess I'll read it. Convergence of the Covenant. I am certain you have heard the whispers as I had. The Mad One is restless, his mind filled with visions of the Burning One's return. If the bonds are broken and his power restored, he could unmake everything. I do not have to remind you of the consequences. The Triumvirate's fate is bound in this moment. Send word along the spider's web. Rally the servants of Bismiel. I invoke the sacred covenant. The forces of the three must converge in the forgotten lands of the Corvan people. Our forces must unite against this threat, or divided we shall succumb to the vengeful flames. None must be allowed to defy our summons. Any that do are as much enemy as the forces we contend with and shall be dealt with in kind. We must not allow ourselves to be distracted by the machinations of the ethereals or the bloodletters succumbing to their own doom. The danger they pose pales in comparison to what awaits us if we fail. And if the web has done its part, then the Erulan survivors will at least stymie their progress long enough for our matters to be settled. Seek out the twin statues, you know of which I speak. The well there is thin and will serve as an opportune location to begin our work. At the request of the Infinite Eye, I've dispatched the emissary to track down valuable allies who will turn the tide in our favor. I consider their lives expendable in pursuit of victory. And my voice is also expendable, it seems. But one must not tamper with the whims of fate when they are so clearly written before us. By the three thrones we will eradicate this threat to our gifts. The world will tremble before the might of the witch gods. Sagon, Vicar of Solile. So out of curiosity, is this Sagon guy here? Yeah, here he is. Alright, I need to clear my throat there. So there are more lore notes, but I will read them after my voice has recovered. Let's first take a look. Are there any more scattered around here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, let's speak with who we're supposed to speak with. I guess it's one of you, despite... Yeah, we have a star here on the map, but no question mark. Weird.
The emissary warned me of your coming, but whether you may remain here is not a matter of his choosing. I will decide who stays and who dies. Are you prepared to face the trials?
Okay, well, that's mighty presumptuous of you, Kanata, but... Yeah, what are these trials?
Save your questions for the scholars. If you are to survive out here, then you must be tested against the terrors of the Eldritch Realm. Are you prepared to begin or not?
No, I am not. What is your role here?
Right now, my role here is to determine whether you are worth the risks of bringing into our fold. Now, are you ready to begin or not?
Well... I guess so, sure. So let's kill some mobs here. Quite a few of them, it seems. So far pretty easy as well. Though that did deal a bit. Whatever that was. Okay, was that it? It seems to have been it. Alright. Pick up all of the junk. And I guess I'll speak with you again.
The emissary was right, as usual. You have earned the right to stand among us in the real trials to come.
Yeah, of course I did. Alright, so what now? Do I speak with... No, not with Mazan. I guess I speak with the emissary again. Okay.
I could hear the battle from here. So then, are you ready to open your eyes to powers beyond imagining? To secrets better left uncovered?
Maybe, but I have some questions first. And it seems that the voice acting stops here. I imagine you do. So if he's not going to voice his lines, I'm not sure if my voice will be sufficient anymore, but let's see. Who are your masters? I'm the humble servant of the witch gods. By their guiding hand, the secrets of the Eldritch Realm are revealed to me. All they ask for in exchange is loyalty and sacrifice. Yeah, that's all. That's basically nothing. Those gathered here have given much of themselves, and they will give much more still if the three demand it. So why did you bring me here?
Ah, yes. Ever driven by action. I admire your conviction. The fated hour is nearly upon us. Soon we shall strike as one against our formidable foe. But we cannot act brashly. Precautions must be taken. Each of the cults is preparing in their own way. Speak to the masters of the cults of Bismiel, Dreeg, and Salile. Learn of their methods and align yourself to one cause. Draelus, Basilla, and Sagon are already expecting you.
Well, sure, but why must I choose a cult?
While we may be allies in this endeavor, the cults do not always see eye to eye on all matters. It is best for the sake of peace that you assist only one of the cults. Do not be concerned, though. The others will not see you as a foe for your decision. Not here. Besides, you may not find all the methods we employ agreeable. Speak to the cult leaders, learn of their ways, and make your choice.
Okay, but which cult do you belong to?
When I first stood before the witch gods, I said to them that I shall serve in this life and the next if need be, but I shall only ever serve the three. Not Bismiel, not Dreeg, not Salile. And so, I am the herald of the gods, the one who spreads their message and finds worthy allies. All the cults look to my guidance. Even the gods have sought my counsel in the past.
Alright, well, I appreciate it that the voice acting came back, and I guess I'll speak with them. So, I know which one I'm going to choose, but I guess I'll speak with all of them. So here's Sagon.
You show promise. Perhaps you would be of value to Salile. It remains to be seen if the emissary was right about you.
He looks like a nice guy. Sounds like a nice guy, and from what we've read, he is a nice guy. You serve Salile? Why should I help you?
Salile does not need your help, but that does not mean we cannot benefit one another. Only those willing to make any sacrifice, to go to any ends necessary, are of use to Salile. The world is ripe with power for the taking, if you have the will to claim it. Bismiel and Dreeg hope to manipulate events to glean a favorable future. Salile knows that the mighty carve their own future.
Okay, well, what can you tell me about Salile?
Salile is the youngest of the three, but do not mistake that for weakness. His mastery of the Eldritch fire is without equal. The very essence of the Eldritch realm is for him to mold as he sees fit, and he shares this knowledge with his loyal servants. But such power does not come without sacrifice. Some must die so that others can bask in his glory. The ultimate display of loyalty.
Yeah, well, Salile seems cruel.
Cruel? The world is cruel. Salile expects great sacrifice, yes, but in return he gifts us with unfathomable power. What god worshipped in the fallen empire can offer the same?
Yeah, well, I need to consider my options. Don't call me, I will call you. Alright, so the main reasoning behind choosing one of these cults is the equipment they offer. Can I actually see what they have currently? I know which one I'm going to choose, but I don't remember if you can actually like get hints about their equipment.
Stay out of my way and we'll get along just fine.
Sure. So yes, doesn't look like it. Well, whatever, it's fine. I guess what I did back when I got this expansion was look it up online, what kind of equipment they offered. Also, I see a lore note, so let's pick it up, but let's not read it yet. Let's see. So, yeah, put that next to the others. So this is the Oracle of Drake. Let's speak with him next.
The weeping spines do not lie. You have come to fragment the memories of the forgotten. But who will stand by your side? Will you step into the spider's web? Or will you kindle the flame? Or perhaps you will weep for the eye that sees all.
Alright, you serve a dreg. Why should I help you?
Much purpose flows within you. Allow me to temper that potential. Through the great guardian's eyes, we shall divine the true path beyond humanity's struggles. Let the others play with their eldritch toys and arcane spectacles. It falls upon us to strike the balance.
Okay, well, what can you tell me about Dreg?
Krieg is the oldest of the witch gods. He sought to know all, to witness the truth in the fabric of our reality. He cast aside the ancient warnings, threw caution to the wind, and reached beyond the curtain that seeks to blind us of true sight. Even his knowledge and wisdom did not prepare him for what he witnessed. The event changed him irrevocably, and while his mortal eyes were forever blind, so his eldritch eyes had opened. For the first time in his life, Drieg saw the world for what it truly was, and he saw rot. Drieg does not distract himself with the folly of mortal pursuits. In the end of all things, we must strike balance.
Alright. Can he see the future?
The strands of fate have been exposed to his infinite gaze. His wounds weep for our future, just as his reach seeks a path through the calamities that still await.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not going to be choosing them either, so that leaves us just one option. Also, here's a merchant. I guess this... Oh, yeah, I can see what they're offering. So, the Verse of Dreg, so the main attraction with these cults is this page, Revered. So, mainly these augments, I suppose. I think all of them are pretty good. There are also some blueprints for legendary items. And yeah, more augments. This one is pretty good, for example, plus 12% poison and acid resistance, plus 10% chaos resistance, etc, etc. But it makes the most sense for Argyle to choose, if I can find... I don't remember where it is. So not Reg, yeah, over here. To choose this cult.
You've been quite a sight since entering our camp. I'm shivering with anticipation for what's next. But will you be at my side? Or would you rather waste your time on the minions of Drieg and Salile?
So this is the lovely lady from the loading screen. You serve Bismiel. Why should I help you?
My dear, who needs to see the future when you can manipulate it from the shadows? Salile would have you play with fire and get burnt. But Bismiel offers you the true gifts of the Eldritch realm. Every hound, every raven, every fiend that's ever crossed the Veil can and will serve the schemer. All are bound within the web. No move can be made without tugging at the strings, until finally, the spider strikes.
Bismiel is a spider?
Bismiel is like a Dreadweave widow. Sultry, manipulative, and deadly. But no, she is not a spider in the physical sense. The schemer takes on many forms, all a means to an end. A pompous oligarch, an unassuming beggar, a seductress. All the faces of Bismiel. If you would ever be so blessed to witness her true form, then you are already dead.
Alright, well, what else can you tell me about Bismiel?
A favorite legend among the rabble is that the secrets of the Eldritch realm were whispered in the goddess's ear by a spider. I believe it happened on a night of fire and passion, of betrayal and lust for power. The Lady of Whispers always gets her way in the end. It was by her machinations that the Empire's Inquisitors spent centuries aimlessly hunting for the witch god cults, their efforts confounded by the endless weave of decoys and lies. Only a select few are trusted in knowing the span of Bismiel's web. I have the honor of sitting at its center.
Alright, so yes, I will choose your cult, Bisilla.
Then what I've heard is true. You do have some sense to accompany your affinity for carnage. Together, we shall weave a web not even a god can escape.
What must we do?
The schemer's web demands my utmost attention. For now, speak to Elaine here at my camp. The Forgotten God stirs within his temple, but plans have been set in motion to see to his destruction. Elaine has heard the lady's will and knows how to proceed. Speak with her. I am certain that you will not let me down.
Okay, sure. So here's Elaine, but first let's take a look at the wares of Bismiel. So the reason I choose them is because of... Let's see. Well, they're the one faction that is most conducive to pet builds. So that's the reasoning. So let's see. Bismiel's control, for example, rare augment, bonus to all pets, plus all damage, plus crit damage, increases armor. Don't remember if there's something else. Well, there is the potent version, which is applied to two-handed weapons. There is also Adept's Will, applied to rings and amulets. Also grants a bit of a bonus to pets, and some defensive bonuses to the player. And it seems that there is only one item here that I can craft with pet bonuses. I thought there were more. No, never mind, there are two. Okay, two. Well, two is definitely more than one. And this one is actually decent, it seems, as well. So, yeah, modifies the Summon Briarthorn skill as well as the Conjure Primal Spirit skill. So, there is a possibility that Argyle will even at some point craft this, though it might be very costly to craft, so maybe not. Anyway, yeah, going with Bismiel. And like the other cults, they have some pretty nice armor augments as well, so plus poison, acid resistance and aether resistance, for example.
Iron well spent.
Alright, now let's speak with Elaine.
So you've chosen to fight under Bismiel's banner. A wise decision. In the end, we all serve Bismiel's will. You might as well be doing so willingly.
Okay, well, Bisilla said to speak to you.
Yes. I have been tasked with the preparations for the upcoming battle, and you will assist me. The Lady of Whispers has decreed that we are to gather powerful essence from the Guardians of Corvin temples. They call it Blood of the Watchers, though it is not blood in the literal sense. It is pure arcane energy, turned solid within the shells of the stone guardians still roaming these lands. Find these infused animated watchers among the ruins of the Carandox and the Temple of Osir to the north and bring me their blood.
Okay, well, it seems you're a bit bloodthirsty, but who am I to judge? Alright, so yeah. There's also a quest from Mr. Riggs here.
Well, look what we've got here.
And it seems he has very limited voice acting. choosing to pledge your loyalty to the witch gods. I hear they take that kind of thing very seriously around here. Well, which do you serve? What, me? I certainly don't serve any of them. I serve the god of making Riggs a wealthy man. Then what are you doing here? Well, I'm what you might call a supplier, a purveyor of particular goods, if you will. I have a special talent for finding high-end and difficult-to-acquire objects, things this crew here can't seem to get enough of, particularly since they set out on their little crusade here. Something about a long-forgotten god and the end of the world or some such. Sounds like business as usual to me. A wise man once said, "Where there's a fight, there's a fortune to be made." Who said that? Me, ya fool! I just said that. It was a joke, you see. Haha, good one. So you're a merchant. Well, that's an oversimplification. You see those other thrash peddlers down there? They've got it all wrong. Selling goods for iron bits is a child's game. A man isn't going to get rich playing games. No, my friend. I trade only in the finest goods. For favors. Favors from very powerful people. Favors that I'll be cashing in when I see fit. So you just give them things? No, I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying here. I give them things in exchange for favors. They're in my debt. They owe me, you see. There's people all across this land that owe me, from emperors to dung sifters. The living, the dead, it makes no difference. They're in my debt, and when I need it most, I'm going to come calling. That's wealth right there. Well, how do you make them pay you? Ah, that's the genius of it right there. So many people across this land are in my debt, you never know who they might be or what they might be capable of. Say I make a deal with a wealthy merchant. Then later on, when I come to collect my debt, he doesn't feel like paying. I pleasantly remind him that there's a lot of other folks looking to make good on their debts. And then leave him to think about who else might owe me and what they might be willing to do to pay up. That usually works. If it doesn't, I just get one of my other debtors to come and tune him up a bit. Sometimes you need to send a message to anyone else who might be thinking about defaulting on their debt. But most folks are glad to pay up when it comes time. It's a relief of sort. Okay, so we can, if I remember correctly, get like an item out of him and never pay him back, and he will keep on sending debt collectors after us, who are pretty nasty, but they also obviously have good stuff and good XP if they're pretty nasty. So you have anything for me? See, now you're getting it. That's what I'm talking about. He wants to make a deal. Let me think for a second. Yes, come to think of it, I do have something for you. You know what this means, of course. You're going to owe me, and someday I'm going to come to collect. Do we have a deal? Sure. Okay, and we get some absolute junk out of this guy. Well, here you go. I'll tell you what. If you come back sometime later, I might even have something else for you. At the right price, of course. Well, of course. Alright, good talk. Now let's see, are there any other quests we can get here? I think there are. Yeah, here's Anorak.
Traveler, can you spare a minute?
You look like you might be able to help me. Well, I guess so. Sure, what do you need? It's my brothers. I was supposed to meet them back here last night, but they haven't shown up yet. We split up yesterday morning outside the Keren docks to the north. There's a temple under the ruins there. They couldn't leave it alone. Just had to go for one more. The two of them just can't control themselves. Who am I fooling? I would have been right there with them, but I was already loaded up with as much as I could carry. I told them to meet me back here. That was the last I heard of either of them. I'd go back out there and look for them myself, but I should stay here in case they come back. If you're headed out past the wall, will you keep an eye out for them? They've got to be somewhere between here and the Keren docks. Yeah, sure, I will find them. Have no worries. And let's check if there's anyone else who wants something, because of course, this being an RPG, it's worth it to help every single bozo that asks for help. Here is Mar. Hello! It's always a pleasure to meet someone worthy of the emissary's attention. I'll let you in on a secret. See Askra nearby. She sells trinkets known as merits, which stand as proof of your achievements. You can even pass them on to others, so they may partake. I suggest you pick one up. Okay, sure.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got.
So merits, let's see. Savior's merit unlocks ultimate difficulty, blah 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 blah. So yeah, you can get other characters ultimate difficulty into ultimate difficulty straight away with these, if you'd like. They do cost a bit of money though.
Iron well spent.
Whatever. Alright. And also we have Masan, Keeper of Portals, who wants something.
The oracles of Drieg spoke of your arrival. Their mad choir whispers of you marching alongside our forces into the tomb of the Eldritch Sun and emerging triumphant. But even their eyes cannot peer into what I offer. The Shattered Realm is unlike anything mankind has ever witnessed, teeming with wealth and power beyond imagining. But also dangers not unlike those that we face even now on Cairn. I have the means to open the way, if you wish to join me in pursuing its mysteries. But be warned, the Shattered Realm spans eternity. One could spend a lifetime exploring even a small fragment of its vast reality. You must be careful not to lose your mind, or worse, become lost forever. Will you dare enter? Will you witness sights beyond imagining?
Well, I dare, but not just yet. Let's do that later. So, yeah, this is one of the main ways to farm stuff, and I guess XP as well, in the late game of Grim Dawn, the Shattered Realm. The higher you go, the better the rewards, and also the opposition, of course, will be more difficult. And I don't remember the details, but I think it's like reach wave 15 or 25 or something like that, and you get a skill point or something like that. So at some point, I guess we should be doing that. Anyway, I'll sell this garbage here before heading out. But the blue items, like I've been doing now, I guess I will continue to blow them up. So let's see, are there any more quests here? And yes, there's one more from Kaizen.
Serve the three and prosper. Deny them and...
Yeah, okay, you seem like a lovely, nice fella. With all the chaos around here, I didn't even take notice of your trials. Care to put yourself to use? I mean, I guess so. Okay, what was once a joint pursuit of a raving zealot and his brainwashed followers has turned into a full-on assault on a primordial being. To say that we were ill-prepared for a conflict of this magnitude is an understatement. But it's also no secret that this region is teeming with old secrets and forgotten artifacts, a resource we can take advantage of to augment our dwindling arcane supplies. I've sent out a group of aspirants to scour the Temple of Osur to the north of anything valuable. I expected them to return by now, but nobody's seen them. If you're going to make yourself useful, go out there and find whatever they've scavenged and bring them back too, I suppose. Alright. Sure. Now, let's get going, finally. Do some actual killing. Here I go killing again. How exciting. Okay, so first up some, I don't know, dinosaurs or something. Well, big lizards anyway. quite a few champions in that pack. So let's hide behind a rock. Alrighty. So I suppose I will explore basically all of this expansion, since I haven't really done that. This is the latest expansion, and as such, I haven't spent all that much time on it. So it is basically the freshest Grim Dawn that exists to me. So I don't remember, well, usually I don't remember everything, but that is especially true for this one. And I think I will also at some point read all of the lore notes, which I haven't done for every single lore note in the base game or in the Malmuth expansion, but since I haven't ever basically read them here, and this isn't that long of an expansion, I guess I will do that here. But I will allow my voice to recover in between readings. Still getting over being a bit sick. So it's a good thing that the minions will handle basically everything. Don't need to be actively spamming skills or abilities. Okay, first rift gate coming up. Guess I'll go grab it before I explore the rest of the map here. So yeah, that was a lot of reading, but thankfully there was also a lot of voice acting in a town. But it did definitely take a toll on my voice. So not sure if I'll actually read any further lore notes during this episode. Maybe like one of them. Alrighty. Like I said, let's explore basically everything. Okay, that's that little bit of the map done. And here we have some people. Master Harken of Death's Vigil. Oh, you don't have voice acting. Good to see you're still in the fight, brother. It seems our efforts in the Blood Grove weren't enough to stop Father Kaiman and his band of zealots. So we find ourselves chasing him through this forsaken wasteland on his mad quest to resurrect the forgotten god. I'm sorry, have we met before? No, but we hail from the same banner. You did a great service to the Order of Death's Vigil back in Sorrow's Bastion and the Blood Grove. Because of this, there are many brothers of the Order who have heard of you. We are in your debt. Well, I'm glad I could help. Sadly, our battle with Father Kaiman and his fanatics didn't end there. We tried to warn the Black Legion of his folly, but alas, they are occupied by the Chthonian and ethereal threats. No one would believe a lone fanatic could be so dangerous. And why would they? With all the unimaginable horrors that now roam Cairn, one crazy old man doesn't seem like a credible threat. Yet here we are. What do you know about Father Kaiman? It seems quite a bit, actually, but he says, truthfully, I know very little about the man. But his story is a tragic one. Despite the effort he and his army of zealots put into hunting down our order, I still have empathy for him. I truly believe he thought he could save us all. Thought he was doing what needed to be done to save Cairn. But I fear he was misled from the very beginning, used as a tool of revenge by a spiteful entity that wanted nothing more than to punish this realm and all who inhabit it. I can only imagine what promises it made to Kaiman under the guise of Empyrean, what lies it fed to him to maintain his faith. It, you mean Korvac? Yes, we now know the truth behind Kaiman's lunacy. A forgotten god that forged a new faith under the guise of Empyrean. All of Kaiman's chosen are mere pawns in the machinations of primordial beings that do not care about us in the least. We are as insects, insignificant to their plans. How ironic that humanity was exactly what Korvac required to return. Well, we'll stop him. Definitely we will. I do like the environments, the writing and the voice work of the Forgotten Gods expansion so far. I think it's a bit better perhaps than the base game. I mean, I've done this content a couple of times, but still. Feels kind of fresh. Okay, Temple City of Osur. But I think we'll go explore the rest of this area first. See if there is anything of note here. Perhaps a lore note somewhere around. Or like a cave. But it seems there's nothing. Okay, no. Good talk. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. So let's continue killing these mummies and fire maggots. Alrighty, and it seems that this is the only way to go.
Can't do that.
Okay. I think that's the first legendary item of the session, Tyrion's Reprisal. So a retaliation item, which obviously will not be used by Argyle. So it will require a bit of effort to get to Revered with Bismiel. Also, actually, yeah. Yeah, now that I think about it, and if I remember correctly, I think I can actually eventually get equipment from the other cults as well. We'll just reach Revered with Bismiel far sooner. Yeah, it's not really like that impactful which cult is chosen there. I wonder why I didn't remember that that is the case. But anyway, it's going to take quite a bit of questing and killing to get there. But yeah, I would like to get there eventually on Bismiel, at least. Also, let's quickly check here. Am I revered with even a single faction? No. Okay. Well, it seems that Argyle is able to get through the story content just fine, even without any augments on equipment. Apart from the weapons, that is. Well, weapon and shield. Resistances are pretty good other than Aether. Chaos is also not at the maximum, but whatever. And here is the next rift gate. Alrighty, so yeah, Temple of Osur. Well, let's go in. Quest log is just so huge that I can't even see everything. Well, I guess that's partly my own fault. Anyway, let's keep on killing. I don't actually need to know what I'm doing here, because obviously in a game like this it doesn't even matter. There is no way to screw it up apart from dying. Lots of enemies to take care of here. Well, that's also a lot of XP and a lot of reputation. Just run there to grab the chest and let the enemies come. Okay, let's take care of this guy before the totem.
That skill's not ready.
Totems are also a pretty nice way of getting that reputation up. There's at least one legendary item. Blood Rager's Coat. Alright, so a bleed, physical, internal trauma item. Alright. Savagery and Blade Arc. Also, quite, well, I don't know, it's semi-obvious that this expansion, the beginning of this expansion is quite a bit like Act 2 of Diablo 2 in the desert. You always have to have a desert map in a game like this. I do like Act 2 of Diablo 2. I think it might even be my favorite act of the game. Act 3 is of course the one that everyone dislikes. Well, I can't say everyone, but most people dislike that one the most. Or like it the least. Act 1 is pretty great, as well as Act 4. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Act 5. And yeah, Act 3 is a bit of a bore. Bit of a drag. But yeah, I think this area might even... Same applies to Grim Dawn, so the desert area feels like... feels the best. Feels the nicest. What's a good adjective to use there? I guess something as boring or basic like interesting is a good way to put it, kind of. I don't know, I guess I don't really need to articulate it further, but yeah. Also, there's a level up, level 78 now. The enemies are able to kill minions every now and again. And just as I say that, plenty of them did die. And if they're able to kill the minions, I guess Argyle is at a bit of a risk as well, so I need to at least a little bit focus on what's happening on the screen. It's easy to go into autopilot when playing a character like this, especially when things are going smoothly. Which they are. Right, take physique and let's pump up Briar Thorn. Like I've been saying, at some point I might do a respec to get things a bit more optimized, but if it's working now, then I'm perfectly happy with it. Happy enough. So I don't remember exactly how many levels there are to this place, but I think there's only one more. Might be two more though. But if there are two more, then probably the last level is quite a bit smaller. Oh yeah, and I'm still using this level 25 relic. I should really do something about that. If it requires some Manticore Eye farming, then I guess I should just accept that that is the case and do it. Okay, pick up all of that green loot. And on to the next level. I guess we'll go this way. Dynamite chest.
My inventory is full.
And the inventory is full. Okay, well, quick trip to town in that case. Alright, let's sell to this guy. Okay, let's try to be quick here. As always, the majority of this stuff is definitely not something I'd like to use, and is therefore just a vendor garbage. I would imagine that there is an inventor here, so let's take a look in a moment. Because like I said, I want to blow up the blue items instead of selling them. Pet medal. Is it good though? Well, it's not horrible. Is it good enough? Requires level 84. Well, since it's so far off and it's not spectacular, I think I'll just sell it. It's fine. I'll find something else. Probably before level 84. If it's a mistake, then it's not a big one. I mean, it only takes like one inventory slot, but even so, whatever. Okay, getting there. One more tab. And yeah, let's check quickly if there is an inventor available. So learn whatever the hell that is. So I can actually see it if I Doesn't look like there's an inventor. Oh well, okay, whatever. I can blow these items up in Devil's Crossing, but let's not do it now. Let's just head back. Alright, and keep on moving. There is also a shrine here. Not that thrilling, to be honest, but sure. Okay, I have gathered 3 out of 3 blood of the Watchers. But I think there's more to be done here. That is a lot of damage.
That skill's not ready.
At least the minions seem to think so. Okay. There we go. I think desecrated shrines are far more exciting now that I've reached the maximum amount of devotion points. And this one indeed is a desecrated shrine. Okay. Also, let's be a bit careful, since it is possible that
I can't do that yet.
playing recklessly will actually get Argyle killed, which would be a bit sad. I'm going to look really stupid if that happens. Alright, what the hell are you? Something. Infused animated watcher. Okay. And the game is offering yet another blood of the Watchers, and it seems I can pick it up. Okay, sure. So is that also a component or something? I don't remember actually. Anyway, let's deal with this shrine here. That is a huge amount of garbage. The inventory is going to be full very soon again. Okay. Learn whatever the hell that was. Alright. And of course, when there's a portcullis, there is a boss. There is also a lore note. And some environmental damage. So here's a Ramzul, High Priest of Osur, who apparently killed plenty of minions pretty quickly. How rude of him. I'll just open your chests here. Seems he will go down pretty easily though. Okay, please die, thank you. Alright, so I think that's it for this place, but let's take a look. Does this lead outside? Yes, yes it does. Okay. So yeah, let's head back to the Conclave. And yeah, I think it's actually been long enough, so I will do the inventory management once again on my own time. I will blow up these items and let's see if I maybe even get enough Manticore Eyes to be able to finally upgrade the relic here. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.